Yo, and we're on. All right, cool. And obviously, you know me, King Riches. I'm back again, and I've got a guest, and I'd like my guest to introduce herself. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. My name is Kristen and I am 24. I'm from London.
Talk loud,
Um,
talk loud, talk loud. Don't be scared.
I'm not scared. I just don't want to. I just don't shout. Anyways, I studied history and politics of the Americas, and my whole reasoning for studying history and politics for Americas is because I've always been interested in identity politics and just power relations. And I also do like beauty content creation. I work in fundraising, but ultimately, I'm also trying to build myself on social media. So, the main purpose of me speaking out about some of the covert things that are happening within the UK and probably other countries in the world is because I want women to make better financial and educational decisions. So, yeah.
Awesome. I want women to make better choices as well. How about that?
Okay. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. I'm happy, I'm happy
That's
for you.
so we're both on the same team then, innit? We're both on the same team. All right, cool.
I never
So
said we weren't. Go on.
yeah. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it out there. So like, boom, now, yeah. Um, so basically, it's mad because I only just came across Kirsten the other day. I was scrolling on
Kristen, Kristen, Kristen,
Kristen. Sorry, Kristen. My bad.
Kristen,
My bad.
Kristen. It's
Apologies,
fine. Yeah,
Kristen.
it's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
And
It's fine.
I saw a video that you put out on your Instagram page, and it was talking about basically when women are selling box, yeah, the code words in it. When women are selling box, it's misogyny. And like when I saw that, I was like,
It's
hold on,
internalized. It's internalized misogyny. Internalized.
internalized.
This.
Okay,
Let's keep that
internalized. Yeah, get it right. It's internalized misogyny. Yeah, but
internalized misogyny.
okay. But the thing is that I didn't know what the hell you was talking about. So I left a comment and I was just like, how is this
Going mad.
misogyny? Like, how does this even make sense? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Because for me, yeah, I've done loads of videos. I've been on videos with loads of women. And a lot of times women use the word misogyny or misogynist wrong. Or they use it in the wrong context. Or they just use it because it's a buzzword that, like if a man's saying something they don't like, they'll just call a man misogynist. That's it. That's my experience in
Mhm.
it. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, what was you talking about in that video?
Okay, so I'll kind of go through my thinking process when I created that video, right? So, in the UK and probably in America more specifically as well, we have this thing or idea called tricking culture. And tricking culture, the reason why I feel like tricking culture is really damaging is because I feel like nowadays a lot of people are thinking that it's okay to have sex in exchange for items. And I see that as internalized misogyny. I see that as internalized misogyny for different things. So I think the main way that I will give credibility to my argument is to explain the biggest rebuttal that I kind of see. So someone underneath the comments basically said, if women are the ones who establish a dating standard, then how can it be misogyny?
Hmm.
It's misogyny because women who are victims of prostitution come from a particular background, and I'll go through that. It's women who are often working class, women who are have absent parents, women who have spent time in care, women who um might be going through have debt and loads of things like that. And it specifically targets again black working class women, not even just black work, just not even just black women, but most women who are experiencing that economic destitution. I did a little bit of research as well. So Prostitution UK says that on average in the UK there's 105,000 women who are believed to be involved in prostitution, and the average age of prostitution of prostitutes in the UK is 24. Um, and also, sorry, there's another point that I wanted to mention here. Um, yeah, I think I'll just use that for now. I'll just use that for now. The average age was 24. So, how is a woman meant to identify Also, another point I want to talk about is like the fact that some women are from fatherless homes. So, and that constitutes a lot of people. So how can people who do not have any experience or have no understanding of what a healthy relationship looks like between a man and a woman define what a good standard relationship should be? So that means in turn, if a man sees that, understands that, and abuses that, that is misogyny because he's now taken advantage of that situation, right?
Right, hold on, hold
And
on,
to be
hold on,
honest,
hold
and
on,
hold on,
hold
wait
on.
one sec. Let me finish the point. Let me finish the point because I don't mind if you disagree with me as well. That's taking advantage of a situation. Prostitution could also be considered as misandry because a woman is now taking advantage of the fact that a man is sexually vulnerable. But the reason why it's misogyny, yeah, is because the way that patriarchy is set up, and this is by patriarchy is set up by you yourself as a man. The social backlash of a man engaging in promiscuity is very different to a woman engaging in promiscuity.
You're making a lot of
When
points. Hold on, hold on,
prostitute,
hold on, hold on. You're making loads of different points, and we have to
okay, you
unpack.
okay,
We have to. Hold on,
okay,
hold on,
you
hold on, hold on, hold on.
okay. We'll start off.
We need to go through each point because you're making one point,
Go
another
on.
point, another point, another point. Like we have to go from the top and analyze
Okay, go
each
on.
thing because then it becomes
Okay,
just
go on.
confusion, in it. Yeah. All
Okay,
right,
go on.
cool.
You do.
So
You,
the
you
first
do.
thing you
Go on.
said, yeah,
Hmm.
is that you
Hmm.
believe that when women sell box, it's because they're from a bad economic in like
They're in a bad
situation, like they,
economic situation.
yeah,
Yeah,
their situation
100%.
is bad in it. Like I understand that, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the
Hmm.
same time, yeah, like there's loads of women that come from them same situations that don't sell box though. Like most of our
And
parents,
what?
hold on, most of our mums, our mothers, yeah, they, especially in the black community, they weren't rich.
Are they? Were
And
they selling
a
books
lot of
though?
them did jobs, you know, like remedial work, like cleaning, or they was doing nursing, or you know, they were secretary office, you know, just doing jobs that were low income jobs. But
Hmm.
bro, they didn't sell box, bro. So in
Exactly.
my opinion, I do understand there is some people that do get exploited, but I think that there's a reason why people called it the oldest profession to mankind. It's the oldest profession, bro. Because really and truly, any woman can just go and start selling box. Any woman can do that.
Okay.
You don't need no education. You don't need a qualification. You just, I'm selling box now. That's it. Now again, as I said, there's some women that do get exploited and are in a bad situation. Maybe they're around a man that's forced them into it and stuff like that. And if a man has forced them into it, then I can understand what you're saying 100%. Yeah, there's no argument with that. But when you're saying tricking culture, I like, to be honest, yeah, there's a lot of women out there that don't see themselves as pros, but they are a part of tricking culture, fully into it. I think most women are in somewhat into this tricking culture. So and it's not because they come from some mad background or something bad or some man has forced them into it. I think a lot of them, they want money and they want a guy to pay, and that's it.
Okay. The reason why I hear what you're saying, and I think how I would like to address what you're saying is, yeah, is we need to contextualize it more, yeah, because I think we started talking about prostitution as a whole, and I think that's obviously very relevant. But we're talking about tricking culture, which is specifically relevant to people who are part of Gen Z, yeah, because that's kind of like a thing now. I want a man to trick on me, blah 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 blah.
Nah,
Like
not really. I think that's millennials as
that's the
well. I think that's
maybe
millennials are
if you
in
want to
this as
consider it
well.
as, but the way I was thinking it probably is, I'm Gen Z, so I'm thinking about it more of people who are of the similar age to myself. Again, we can
Yeah, but it
probably include
started. But
millennials in
what
that.
I'm saying to you is that it started somewhere. It didn't just start like five
Yeah, I'm
years
not
ago.
saying it didn't. No,
This
no, no.
happened. This
I'm
has
not
been
saying.
going on.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it started from Gen Z. What I'm saying is my whole thinking behind it was contextualized to Gen Z. I wasn't really
Okay.
thinking about millennials, but millennials can also be included in that. I
Okay.
think to of one thing I'd like to do in order for us to like progress the conversation more is define what misogyny is. So it's a
Mhm.
dislike of contempt for ingrained prejudice against women, right?
Mhm.
So to address what you said, yeah, Now we're thinking about to address what you said, and also using the definition and contextualizing this to millennials / Gen Z women. One
But it
thing
could be
that I
any.
also
It
talk
could be
about,
any woman of any age. It doesn't
it
need
could
to
be
be
any woman. It
Gen
could be
Z.
any woman,
Like,
but we could be any woman. But then we're gonna just start talking about so many different things. Like,
not
I'm trying to
really, not really,
contextualize.
because if
Yeah,
you're a
we
man,
are,
you're a
because we
man.
can.
If you're a woman, you're a woman. It doesn't really matter what
Yeah,
age
but at
you
the
are.
same time, well, you have to contextualize things in order to, because you have to contextualize things in order to have a bigger have an understanding. What we're talking about is something that big philosophers and people write huge essays and dissertations on. So you have to contextualize it in order for us to stay on track of the conversation and deal with the matter at hand. So what I was talking about was dealing with Gen Z. So when I'm
All right.
talking about Gen Z, yeah, one of the issues I've also mentioned, yeah, in like other videos that I've posted on TikTok, is I feel like a lot of people that are in my age group, again, millennials as well, they have an extreme appetite for luxury. They want to be, they want to be considered as like more important. They want to be considered as like, I'm that person,
Mm-hmm.
and have luxury to basically facilitate that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was basically saying is that, like, again, working class, if you're a working class woman, and again, you might be feeling like left out because you don't have a Chanel bag, or you don't have all of these things, yeah. That might be an impetus for people to now, that luxury pressure is encouraging people to now sell their body for items, and I think that's wrong. And the fact that they're doing that now, they're kind of justifying that misogyny. The fact that you're allowing a man to gain access to your body, not because of
That's not
his character,
misogyny,
not
though.
because of, I feel like it is a misogyny because it's discrimination. He
No, hold
understands
on, hold
as
on. Who's
well.
this?
He
No,
because
no,
he
no, no, no.
understands
Hold on, hold on, hold on,
because
hold on,
he's
hold on.
understanding.
Slow down,
Shatim,
slow
no,
down,
hold
slow
on.
down, slow down,
He
slow down,
understands.
slow down,
He
slow down, slow
understands that
down,
you clearly have
slow
low
down, slow
dating
down,
standards.
slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. We got when you make a point, we have to analyze the point you make. You can't make a
Okay, but
point
I
and then
wasn't
just
even
ramble
finished the
onto
point
another point.
yet.
Listen, listen,
I
listen.
wasn't
You
finished the
said
point
you
yet.
feel you no. This is the point you just made. You said you
Go
feel
on,
it's
tell me.
misogyny because if a woman is feeling like she's under pressure to get a Gucci bag because in this day and age, you know, to feel like somebody you need a Gucci bag. Now she has to go and sell her body to get a Gucci bag. That's not, how is that misogyny, bro?
Because this is why I said it's very, this is why I said it's very specific. It's internalized misogyny. She's justifying that she's not even, her herself is not even seeing it as misogyny. She's internalizing it and she's justifying it, and she thinks it's okay to give up her body. She's in order for an item, and a man sees that she has low dating standards, yeah. He
That's not
sees that
dating
entry
though. It's a
point.
transaction. It's not dating.
Is this what but he sees that she clearly has low self-worth. Whatever it is, even if it's not dating, he's clear that
He's
she
not thinking
clearly has
anything
low
like
self-worth.
that. He's not
Of course,
thinking any.
you
If a
if
guy
a
is
guy,
buying
there's
box,
no
listen,
way.
listen, listen, listen. If a guy is
He
out
doesn't
there
think
to
highly
buy
of that
box,
woman, does he? He doesn't
no,
think
but
highly of
listen,
that
listen,
woman, does
listen,
he?
listen. If a man is
Does he
out there
think
to
highly
buy
of the woman?
box, listen to me. If a guy is out there to buy box, he's not. This is not a dating situation. He's not thinking,
Okay, it's not. But we're
oh,
talking about self-worth.
no, 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 no. You need to let me say what I'm saying. He's not thinking that, oh, she's got low self-worth and all the. He's just there to buy box. Men are very simple creatures. We're not doing all this analyzing. If the woman
No
is
one's saying
selling
that
her
you
body,
analyzing.
he's not thinking, like, respectfully, he's not thinking about her, really. He's thinking about himself and he's thinking about how much. That's all he's thinking.
Okay.
Is she,
And
now,
he's thinking about all of those things.
if she herself is selling box, that's a conversation you can have with her. But don't bring the man into it and say it's misogyny, because it's not. If
It
you
is
if you
misogyny because
decide
he
to sell
sees that
box,
she
that's on
clearly
you.
he is abusing the fact that he has low self-worth.
That's not abuse. It's so-
Yes,
it's buy and
he's playing on that power
it's
dynamic. He's
supply and
playing on that power
demand.
dynamic. He
It's called
knows that she
business.
has, but doesn't mean, and it's in the same way, loads of us are probably being exploited just because you're not trying to put a label on it. Really and truly, if a man understands, you're telling me that men are so clueless, they don't see escorts and prostitutes and think that they don't have any self-worth. Of course, men think that escorts and prostitutes have low
Yeah, and
self-worth.
that's why they
That's why
don't
they're in
wifey
the
them. And they don't wifey them, but they're
exactly.
not
So the
thinking
fact that,
about that though.
but they are contributing. But this is to the fact that a man is literally funding a low self-worth. That's an understanding of a power dynamic.
But that's her own. But if, as I said, if no one's forcing her to do it,
I'm saying now that she understands and she understands. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's internalized. It's justified misogyny.
Okay, but you're trying to include the men into it. The men that are buying box. No, let me finish what I'm saying. You keep interrupting when I'm speaking. The men that are buying the box from her are not forcing her to sell it. This is a supply and demand. She's putting herself out there as a product, and then the customers come. The customers are not coming to her. She's a regular girl. The customers are coming to her. Oh, you need to start buying box today so I can buy it. That doesn't exist.
Okay. So what you're basically saying, okay, let me, I think that leads on to another point that I was basically trying to say, because what you're trying to say is that prostitutes are basically misandrous because they are.
I never said that.
No, but that's basically what you're saying, because you said that they're offering that you said that. No, but this is what I'm trying to say. Let me tell you what I feel like you're doing. You're just trying to escape the label. Hold on, I'm busy. You're trying to escape a label. What I'm doing is calling it out for what it is, and that's the difference.
No, you said I said it's misandry, and I never said that word once.
You didn't say no. I didn't say that's what you said. I said that's what I feel like you're basically saying.
But that's your feelings. That's not a fact, though.
Exactly, and that's exactly what you said is not a fact either. That's your.
No,
that's your
it is a fact. It is a fact. What I said. The people that buy box are not telling the women to sell box so that they can buy it.
Okay, so let me and this is what I'm trying to say. So that would suggest that based on what you said, let me rephrase it so it doesn't seem like I'm being obtuse in the way that I'm thinking. From what you've said, it's very easy to then say that prostitutes are misandrous because why? They're playing on the fact that I'm busy. Sorry.
It's all right.
It's their family. They're playing on the fact that they know certain men are vulnerable or their sexual desires are not being met, and they can provide a service that men will fund. Yeah. So they're kind of quote unquote taking advantage of a man's vulnerability, and so do
normal women do that too.
Exactly. But let me
what do you mean
tell
exactly?
you the difference. Yeah, let me because you need to listen to what I'm saying. Because when we're talking about the idea of prostitutes, this is why
call them pros.
Okay, pros.
Yeah.
And this goes back to the point that I was trying to make before. A woman engaging in promiscuity and monetizing of promiscuity, does not have the same impact when a man is engaging in promiscuity. And that's the reason why it is misogyny. Because now, it's not just the way you're looking at misogyny. It's like men hate women and da 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 da. No, it's also about the impact that has in society. She's now deemed as unlovable. She's now seen as someone who's not fit to be a mother. She's now someone who's not fit to be a partner. And so the social backlash of it as well also would suggest that is misogyny, because the impact that men have and the impact that a woman has is completely different.
All right, cool.
Her social
let's use that logic. Let's use that logic. All right, cool. Let's use that logic, yeah? So if a man is broke, is he a misandrist?
How does that make him a misandrist?
Because he's not working hard, because he's being lazy. Oh, what happened there? It froze. Why did it freeze? Yeah. All right, cool. I don't know. So if a man's not working, he doesn't make money. Yeah, we know that impacts society, because if men are like that and not making money, it brings down the whole economy of society, and you're not desiring. Listen. And many women.
No, I couldn't hear you. It cut out. So I'm saying start again because I couldn't hear you for the past 10 seconds.
My bad. All right, cool. So if a guy is broke and he doesn't make money, and he just doesn't do anything, we know that women want men that are providers. They want men that are strong providers. So if the man is lazy and does not work hard and does not make money, in essence, by your logic, he's not going to be desirable to women, and he doesn't respect himself, so he's a misandrist because he's broke.
No, because he's not giving up. He's not. What's he doing? How is a woman taking advantage of a man who's broke? Explain that to me, because
Because
that's
they
what we're
don't,
talking
no,
about.
because
Someone,
no, it's not about the take advantage. It's about,
yeah, but that's
it's
the whole
about the
point.
other,
But that's
it's
the whole
about the
point of
other, it's about
that's
the
the whole point of
description
the
of
misogyny slash misandry. Someone is taking advantage of a weak someone. There's a power. What you're failing to understand, I kind of feel like, is that there's a power dynamic here.
So is it the
With
man's? So when you say the when women sell boxes, it's misogyny. Is it the men you're talking about that are being misogynist, or the women being internal misogynist?
It's
Because you're
both.
flip
It's both
flopping
in
from
both ways.
both.
No, because I'm saying it's in both ways. It's in both ways. The fact that she is justifying that is internalized misogyny. The fact that a guy can see that has low self-worth and decides to fund that experience is also a form of misogyny. I'm not saying that men are completely responsible, and I'm not saying women are completely responsible for chicken culture. Both parties, both genders are creating something that's extremely harmful for dating, for men's perception of intimacy, for a woman's perception of intimacy, and so many different things. They both have parts to play. Two things
Okay.
can be true at the same time.
Where do you think tricking culture comes from?
Boy, it comes from pimps and 304s and escorting, all these things that have existed for a long
Yeah, but
time. This is a
why do you think it's become more popular now, more than ever?
I think it's become popular because of okay, let's contextualize this. Have you heard of Boston Richie before?
Nah.
Okay, so Boston Richie is a rapper in America, and he was dating this like influencer model girl who called
IG
Tatiana
model.
Shima.
Yeah.
The IG model, yeah, let's just go, she's the IG model, yeah. And he met her when she was 17, and he's about 27 or 26 at the time, 25 at the time. Obviously, their relationship, whatever. But his whole like ethos, yeah, was like, it still is. It's like, I'm Mr. Pay for shit. Like, I want to trick on all girls. Da 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 da. Like the way he's making himself is kind of like more attracted to women because he's buying them Chanel's easily. You don't have to wait for this random guy to, come and give you this. I'll give you the 10K today and little things like that. And people, I feel like a lot of women who nowadays as well, there's a lot of women who just are so excited by materials and want to be considered as important. They really want to feel validated by luxury. So that's why this whole now a
But
narrative
that's
of
their
tricking
own
culture.
stupidity, though.
Of course, it's
It's
stupidity.
not
I'm not
it's
saying
not
that's not.
misogyny. It's stupidity, bro.
It's no, because the guy. Should I tell you what it is? Let me tell you why it's misogyny. It's misogyny because people like Boston Richie see that women are now they're really desperate for luxury. So the fact that it's like he's dangling a carrot in front of a hungry donkey. Oh my goodness, yeah, I'm the guy that's gonna do this. I'm the guy. He's taking advantage.
Yeah, but
That's what I feel like you're
he's not
understanding.
forcing them to eat
It's
the
not
carrot,
about
though.
forcing. Misogyny isn't about forcing. It's not about
No, but
coercion.
we're talking about
It's
this
it's not about
specific
coercion.
scenario,
It's
though.
about this. Yeah, because it's about but this is what I'm trying to say. I never said it was anything about coercion. You're trying to make it into something about coercion.
No, because
Misogyny,
that's the point, though.
misogyny
That's the point of
no,
the
because
situation.
in a workplace, if a man now says something to a woman and it's like, oh yeah, she's shit at her job because she's a woman, that is misogyny. That is a form of
What's
discrimination
that got to do
because
with what
that
we're
is a
talking
man's.
about?
Because the point that I'm making is, not all misogyny is coercion. Misogyny can
Yeah,
be
but we're
viewed in
talking
different
about a
ways.
specific dynamic, though.
But
So
this,
obviously, I'm going to
yeah, we're
talk about
talking
that
about
dynamic.
exactly. We're talking about a specific dynamic. But you said, "Oh, women. He's not forcing the women to eat the carrot." And I said, in the same way,
Yeah.
but not. And this exactly. And I'm agreeing with you. But I'm telling you that I never said that misogyny is coercion. There's nothing. You don't have to force someone to
Okay,
engage in
but I'm
misogyny.
just saying, in
People
that
can voluntarily.
situation, okay,
People are
cool.
voluntary misogynists.
Okay, but in that situation, the guy is not in terms of the guy trying
He's
to
not.
attract women. Listen, let me finish. The guy trying to attract the women, he's not at fault here. He is just basically doing what he knows women want. And women want a guy that is gonna buy them crap. That's what it is, bro. Like, and he's got the expendable income to facilitate that. Now, if you are a woman who is superficial and materialistic, and you get validation from having Van Cleef bracelets and stuff like that, that's your own stupidity, bro. Maybe you need to reevaluate what you see to be valuable in life. That's on them. That's got nothing to do with the guy. He's not taking advantage. He's not doing anything, bro. Now, the only time I look at it as taking advantage is if you're being coerced into something. And another point about this as well is a lot of women, we always have to ask these questions. Why are you not so attracted to these superficial things? Because really and truly, that's what it boils down to. If you wasn't, if a lot of you wasn't so materialistic, so money hungry driven, you wouldn't be falling into these issues. That's what it is. A lot of you lot's role models now, or people, influencers or whatever, what did they push? And I'm talking about the women. What do they push? Get the bag, get the bag, get the bag. I got this. Look at me, I'm on holiday. I got this bag. I got these shoes. Bro, there's no morals there. There's no nothing, bro. And and listen to this. When guys try to call it out, like I'm somebody that calls it out a lot, when you call it out, you get called a misogynist. How ironic.
I think if you're encouraging men to not be tricks, I don't think that makes you a misogynist. So if you're calling out women for engaging in futile behavior and like behavior that reduces their self-worth, I don't think that makes you a misogynist. I think it would make you misogynist based on the way that you deliver the message. But I don't think, because it makes you, depending on how you deliver the message, it depends. Because if you say, if you go and you say, all women make stupid decisions, women are stupid all the time, men make better decisions, that's different than if you said, I just don't think women should engage in behavior that depreciates their self-worth.
You'll still get called a misogynist. But
this is what I'm trying to say. The people who are doing that are ignorant. I wouldn't say you're a misogynist for something like that.
Do you accept that? Do you accept that even if when guys come out and say it in the nice way that you're saying, do you accept that many women will still call him a misogynist, regardless?
I think I do agree, and I think it's because I agree with you, and I agree with you because I feel like, again, in Gen Z and probably millennials as well, I think social media is encouraging people to engage in shame culture, and that shame culture is kind of like that level of shame culture is it like, I think in turn can make men resent women or put men off dating, to be honest, which will again lead back into the point that we were talking about before. But women kind of feel like they need to expose men, they need to make men feel worthless. Like there's so many things that are like True. Are contributing factors as to why people are engaging in tricking culture.
You basically agree that a lot of women, even when a guy is saying something that's true, that would even help them, if it doesn't go along with the whole, I don't know, the trending mindset, then they'll just straight away have a confrontation with that. They'll be like, oh, he's a misogynist, he's insecure, he's saying that because he's broke, he this, that, the other. It always goes on. It's always like, it's very like typical. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you're saying that you do recognize that in this current culture, whatever we have right now, it's like women want to kind of tell guys to shut up, basically. Like, I don't care what you're saying. If it's not what I like, keep your mouth shut. And I think there's something wrong with that. Go on.
There is something wrong with that, and I think there's a lot of things wrong with it, to be honest, because I feel like in regards to, like, say for example with me, because it's different, like men and women get different reception. I made a video and I basically was like, having a Chanel bag in your 20s is not a normal thing and we shouldn't normalize it, right? Because an average Chanel bag, if it's new, is minimum £5,000 to £6,000. Why in your 20s do you have a designer bag that is worth that much? And Black people are amongst are part of the hugest percent of destitution in the UK. It would make more sense that we invest in property and all these other things, and then we can afford all the 20 billion Chanel bags. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I got called a hater. I got called a hater for something like that, and I got people said that I was broke, but really and truly, I don't feel validated by what they're saying because I went to one of the best universities in the world, extremely educated, have multiple businesses and loads of different things. So my perspective of different with people. I don't resonate with it because we have different experiences ultimately. But continue with what you're saying.
Would you say that there's more pressure on guys, because we're talking about the whole coming from low income environments, backgrounds, etc., and how that could make women feel like, oh, I need to have this and that to feel validated and stuff like that. But wouldn't you say that there's actually more pressure on guys in terms of like, guys have to have money? Because really and truly, a woman can be broke and be a bum, and no one's really going to call her out for being broke and being a bum. But if a guy is broke, he literally, unless he's some really, really attractive dude, like, women are not really trying to give him the time of day. Do you get what I'm saying? So a lot of guys end up doing crazy things to get money, to live luxury lifestyle, to buy all of this stuff, to have the best sports car and all of this blah, blah, blah. Like, a lot of guys, bro, they end up in jail. Some of them lose their lives, bro, like, trying to live this lifestyle. And really and truly, it's just trying to attract women. You were just talking about the rapper. He's tricking. Why is he doing it for? He's not doing it for himself. He's doing it to get women, bro.
Attract women.
So what do you think about that?
I think there's multiple ways to kind of like answer what you said. Do men experience more pressure? Yes, I would say so, because if we're talking about heteronormative relationships, if a man wants to meet a woman, and say, for example, if the goalpost now is that all women want a Chanel bag and no one's giving up nothing, or no one wants to be with you unless you can give a Chanel bag, then that does apply a lot more pressure to men, right? But the only thing I would like to maybe say as well is I would like to give a rebuttal to the idea of like, women don't have to have much, they can just be bummed. One thing that I've observed, is men who are really successful, like most men who are really successful, and again, life is that there's nuances. This, what I'm about to say, is not true for everyone. But one thing that I've realized is most men who are really successful, they have women that are on, like, oh, to be honest, they're equals, like have the same level of intellectual capacity, have had similar experiences, and loads of different things. So like, say, for example, like Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, all those people, like they met them at university, similar social circles and things like that. One thing that I realized is that nowadays, again, I think men are starting to kind of resent women for having these absurd relationship standards, and or having to kind of like expecting men to buy them certain things. And so I think what's kind of happening is that's why a lot of men aren't engaging in intimacy or dating as much anymore, because I think women have skewed the idea of what they want as in a relationship, because they're looking at social media and being like, basically what I'm trying to say is more women are going on social media and comparing their relationships or their dating life to some random person on the internet. And a lot of men are seeing that and thinking that's really stupid. I don't want to engage with women like that. And I think that's why less men are engaging in relationships. And so what I kind of feel like is more men are looking for women that are on a similar wavelength to them in terms of like building and wanting more. Like, men don't want to just be like complete leaders and not have any like support. They want women who are co-pilots, women
I think you're a little bit inaccurate. I think you're on the right path, but you're a bit inaccurate. Guys want cooperative women that just will let the man be the man and she can be the woman. I don't think men are necessarily looking for a woman that is financially on the same wavelength as them. I just think that again, I think a lot of men, they wouldn't mind if their woman worked in McDonald's. If she looked after,
know what it is.
Listen, I'm a guy, and I'm around guys, and guys, we tell each other,
but you haven't let me finish
what we don't tell you. Listen, we tell each other what we don't tell you lot. So I mean, you could say what you think, but I'm telling you what it is. Most guys, we don't care. Like, listen, most guys that are super, super successful, they got a sports car, got all this lavish stuff that attracts you women. If most guys, if you knew you could still attract the same woman, you wouldn't even go and buy those things. So when you say that, men were looking for a woman that is already at the same level to build, guys are not really thinking that, bro. The number one thing we're thinking is, does she look good? Does she get my willy hard? Is she cooperative? Does she listen? Is she someone I can get along with? And and she got some mad body count? Yes, no. Has she got morals? Yes, no. That's it, bro. Like, we're not really looking at what her bank balance is. You don't really care.
Okay. What I was saying is not, looking at her back balance, and I'm not saying the woman has to be on the same financial wavelength as. I'm saying that I don't.
No, but
think
I said
men
men don't mind if a woman's a bum. That's what I said, and you said you're gonna rebuttal that.
Yeah, because but my thing is, cool. I think why would I don't know. You know what? I think maybe we just have like different standards of of things. I feel like men
You don't
who
date
have
women though. You can't say that. You don't date women.
Exactly. I don't. But I
So
think
you
it's
can't
just
say
like
I have different
an
standards.
observation that I've made. Yeah, and again, having really close male friends, when a man is dating a bum of a woman, that's a woman who's extremely hyper dependent on you. I feel like I'm not saying that a man needs to have a woman that's on the exact same wavelength financially as him, but he doesn't want her to be super broke, because I feel like women who have their own motion, who have some level of independence, not to say that she needs to be a leader as well, but she understands how money works and how money flows. If you're with a woman who understands that, she's not going to give you unnecessary financial pressure to perform a certain way or to be a certain way. She's going to give you grace because she understands that you have it 99.9% of the time. On the 1% of the time, she's not going to bring you down. And that's the point I'm saying. She don't have to be on the same wavelength as you, but she has to have her same motion. If you're dating a woman who's a bum, she don't get that.
Okay, cool.
Simple.
Maybe using the terminology "she's a bum" was too extreme. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, a man doesn't necessarily need a woman to be a breadwinner, or
she doesn't.
The woman, or a man is not looking for a woman. Oh, she's gonna pay this, or she's gonna take care of. Like, men are not really. We don't really think like that at all. Like, the first thing is, do I find her attractive? That's the number one thing we're thinking about. Then after that, what's her personality like? Do I get along with her? Is she a nice person, bro? Is she down to earth? Is she somebody that is a helpmate? That is the number one thing. That's why a lot of times you see a lot of these really successful guys, and then you see their wife, and their wife doesn't even look like much. And you know, the reason why they're married to that woman is because she's a helpmate. It's not because of anything like in terms of financial. It ain't.
But this is my point. I never said it was. I never said it was.
No, I'm just saying because I said bum was an extreme, innit?
Okay. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, like, I'm not saying that the woman needs to be exactly on the same financial wavelength, but I think men nowadays are seeing that, like, obviously I know you didn't mean it like that, but men are seeing nowadays that being with a woman who's a bum doesn't make sense because she doesn't even understand the realities of how to make money, how money works, and loads of things like that. And I think in turn that can make men resent women.
The only thing that makes men resent women these days is the unrealistic dating requirements. Unrealistic.
And this is what I'm saying. If a woman is a bum, being with her is gonna allow her to have unrealistic dating standards because you are enabling her. That's enabling her.
Do you know why? All right, let me give you this example. Yeah, there's a movement of men, especially in America, who go to Colombia, Mexico, Thailand. They go to all these countries which are the GDP is way lower than USA and UK, and they're around women from a lower income society, yeah, or countries, whatever, yeah. And guess what? Their dating requirements are low. The maintenance to be with those women is low. That's why a lot of those men end up marrying them. And they end up making videos and talking about, oh my God, my life is so much better now. I got my wife. She's feminine. She's nice. She's good to me. She looks after me. And guess what? The price of living is lower. I wouldn't be able to live this life if I lived back home. So when you say because these women are quote unquote bums, or let's just say they're not really making money like that, that means that their dating requirements are going to become inflated and unrealistic. That's not necessarily true. You could come across I've come across loads of people that don't make that much money and they're very down to earth and very humble, men and women.
I
So
hear what you're saying, and I'm not obtuse in the way that I'm thinking. Again, as I said, two things can be true at the same time. What you're saying is also very true, but also if we're talking about the context of the Western world, what I'm saying can be very true.
hold on one
A lot
second.
of these
Hey,
things.
everybody, hold on. Everybody watching, please like the video. Hit the like button now. Don't forget to do that. There's a lot of you watching. It's like over 90 people watching. So everybody like the video right now, please. Yeah. This is a very good conversation. She's doing well. She's doing all right. She's doing all right. And I'm gonna shout out the super chats at the end. Don't think I've missed them. I'm gonna shout out the super chats at the end. Yeah. So keep hitting the super chat to get your shout out. But anyway, yeah, carry on what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that sometimes, yeah, I kind of feel like when when even like on social media now, when I'm like putting out my opinion on things, people need to understand that like we can't think obtusely. These are things, these are huge socio-economic things that like no one's has the right idea. We're all trying to figure it out. And
Mm.
that's why what I'm trying to say is if you're with a bum, but say for example, a bum living in the UK and a bum living in Colombia, it might be, or like let's not even just say a bum, a working class woman in Colombia and a working class woman in the UK is two different things. In the UK, people can still have iPhones, people have TikTok, people have all of these things. So I feel like in the UK, people feel like even if they're working class, they have a closer proximity to wealth or to luxury or to
I
nice
got you.
things.
I
So
got you.
if they are if a man is now with a woman and again she might have a closer proximity to the things that I just mentioned before, she can have a hyper inflated idea of what she wants as a dating standard. Because again, another thing that I was just gonna write a video
That's a
on is
westernized
that like,
problem.
it is a Western problem, but it's a Western problem because there's a lot of red pill content about being this soft girl and like being stay at home, and like the man just funds her shopping and her Pilates and she just lives a soft life every day and she has no problems and loads of things like
Nah,
that.
that's not
And
red
again,
pill. That's not red pill.
I
That's
think
that's
it's a little
women.
bit
That's
because
women talking. That whole soft life thing is women
I
that
think it's
basically are
unrealistic.
lazy. That's what. Listen, that soft life
But
thing.
this is
Yeah.
bums, but this could be bums. This could be
No,
bums
but
though.
they
And
don't
that's
have
why
the
bums think that way.
yeah. But this is the thing. This is the thing. Yeah. Okay, I understand your point. Whereas the working class women in Colombia or those countries in third world countries is different to UK or America. I understand that, and the ones in the West are gonna have more. They're closer to luxury, so maybe their expectations will be higher. But you know,
Inflated, yeah.
at the end of the day, the problem is that a lot of women these days they have unrealistic expectations, and that's why a lot of men are just like, I'm not dealing with this crap. A lot of these women are not worth it. The juice is not worth the squeeze. Blah blah blah. The red pill content that you was talking about, a lot of it is telling men, yeah, you need to be the breadwinner, but be with a woman that deserves it. And usually, for a woman to be deserving of that kind of treatment, she's not going to be a gold digger, bro. She's not going to be a woman that's going to be breaking the bank. That's going to be a woman that's going to be willing to put her hand in her pocket as well. Because I tell you what, one of the first things you hear, if you hear a lot of red pill content, they'll say, don't take a woman out today, do coffee dates. If she's not okay with a coffee date, then she's obviously, she don't really like you, and don't be just spending your money off. That's what it really talks about. Now, if you find a decent woman who actually cares, who actually really genuinely likes you, now you can take care of her and look after her and be there for her and blah blah blah. But at the same time, she still needs to be a helpmate at the same time. Now that's how I look at it anyway. Like I honestly, at this point in my life, the way I think, and I've had loads of girlfriends in my life, yeah. The way I look at it now is like, if the girl or the woman is not genuinely showing me some kind of investment, then what am I doing with her, bro?
Okay, so question for you. What does genuine investment from a woman look like?
Well, she shouldn't be feeling like she deserves or she's entitled to anything. I'm a human being and she's a human being, and we live in a very high cost of living country, and we all know that it's not easy out here. So if she's on some vibe of, oh yeah, you're a guy and you need to pay for everything, and I'm just gonna sit here while at the same time she works a job. She works a job as well, you know. Yeah,
So
and she's getting her
what's
money,
your
and then
idea
her
of
money, and then her money's her money, and my money's her money. How does that work? And then
So what
also,
is
and
your
then
ideal?
at the end of the day, I don't know how long I'm gonna be with her. She might just disappear. Relationships come and go. I've had many of them.
So is your like prerogative 50-50? Like what's your like what do you believe in?
I'm not even saying 50-50. I'm just saying life is give and take, fam. Because there might be
Okay.
sometimes it could be 90-10, sometimes it could be 50-50, sometimes it could be 70-30. But at the end of the day, if somebody's a helpmate, they're there for you. It doesn't matter. And what's really important
Exactly.
is if someone gonna stick around in hard times, because hard times always come. Don't care how rich you are, bruv.
But
How
this
many
is why
celebrities
I
do you
also
know that were rich and now they're broke now, or they're in jail, or something mad has happened to them, bruv?
and you know what? I think you're making a very valid point. And to be honest, I think it links to the point that I was making before. When a man, when I feel like, okay, I'm not speaking for how a men how men think. I speaking about how I think men should start thinking, right?
Go on.
I don't think men should continue to date women who are bums. I think more men should start to date women that are ambitious, women
What
that
makes a
have
woman a
stuff going for
bum?
themselves. But that's it. Obviously, well, if she doesn't have anything going for herself, she's not working, she's not like having, she doesn't have a source of income. Like that's what I see as a bum. She
Yeah,
has
but
no
we said that's an
education.
extreme. But what about the? I believe that there's women that do make money and they're still bums. In terms of
Bums can
in
also
terms of
be
a
their
dynamic.
mindset. It can also be their mindset. I think it could be a variety of different things.
Okay, okay,
Let's just discuss the financial element of it first. Yeah, I know that you mentioned that men don't care about women's like pockets and stuff, and I don't think that they completely should, anyways. But I feel like that's also one of the problems that are reducing people's ability to be in good relationships because they're not having open and honest conversation about finances and being transparent.
mm,
The reason why I think men should start thinking about the women that they are dating from a financial perspective is based on what you said with hard times. So, like, say for me, example, I have no interest in being a housewife because I'm a very ambitious person. I have family responsibilities, but as well as that, I enjoy having that independence. Being in a relationship as well, yes, I like when my man does stuff for me and puts me in a position to make me feel like, oh, he's taking care of me. But I also am so devoted to what I have. And I feel like probably he is as well because he knows if something was to hit the fan, if shit hits the fan, I can cover it as well. Do you get what I'm
mm,
trying to say? Because
mm.
that's the level of devotion that I have,
Yeah.
and that's also because I'm ambitious and I put myself in a position to be financially educated and to have
Are
that
you
motion and stuff
50-50
going for
with him?
myself.
Do you do
I don't
50-50?
know. We don't do 50-50.
So what do you
But
do
we
then?
don't do. I would say it's like 80-20.
So he's the financial burden is 80% on him, yeah. But what you're saying is
I
that
don't think it's a burden.
okay, financial responsibility.
Yeah, let's say that.
Okay, cool. So the response 80%, the 80% of the responsibility is on him, yeah. And then
Yeah,
what you're saying is, but if something bad was to happen, you would be there and do take up the slack.
100%. 100%.
Has that situation occurred yet?
No,
Okay, cool. I mean, it sounds good, but we don't know in it.
no, because it's not about you don't know because
It is we don't
I'm the
know because
type.
it has happened.
It hasn't happened yet, but regardless, but this is why
We're
I talk
just going
about
off words, fam.
people know, but it's not because we're going off words because
Do you
people are
know how
not
many
having
times? Do you know how
conversations
many
about
times I've
things.
heard? Do you know how many times
When
I've
you
said
buy
to a girl, "I love
insurance,
you," and I didn't mean it, bruv? Or a girl
yeah,
said
but
it to
that's
me and she
crazy.
didn't mean it.
But
Words
but
don't
that's
mean
you.
anything.
Yeah,
Words
but that's
don't
you
mean
because
anything. It's about actions and
the
real
same way.
action, bro.
But the same thing, regardless of that, yeah, in the same way, when you buy house insurance, is that because you feel like your house is going to burn down? No, you put a plan in place to ensure that if something was to happen, this is the backup plan. And it's a similar way. If I have a conversation with someone that I'm dating and we're like, we have similar morals, we have similar principles, we have a similar ethos. I'm like, and this is not something that someone has to encourage me to say. This is my own thing where I'm like, I believe in what we have. I believe in my partnership. So regardless, if something goes wrong, I'm not gonna go and say, "Well, I'm out of this." If 99.9% of the time you look after it, that's me being ungrateful.
If a man, if
So
a
that's
man,
why
if
I
a man,
don't.
if a man said he wanted to do 50-50 with you, would you have a problem with it?
Yeah,
Why?
because I just don't want to go 50-50.
But why though?
Because I just don't. I think at the end of the day, yeah, I think this is the problem with dating nowadays, yeah. I I think people confuse expectations and standards. Like, standards are there to expose alignment, and expectations are built on patterns of behavior. I'm with someone who is happy to be to have the main financial responsibility, and that works for me as well. Other
Yeah, but I'm
people are
asking you
not
why
happy to
you
do that,
wouldn't want to
and
do
that's okay.
50-50. That's what I'm asking you.
Because
You're
I
talking
just
about
don't, because
something
I don't
else.
feel like I need to. Because I don't feel like I need to, and I don't have to as well. So yeah, and I think
So
it's as
if your
simple
man,
as that.
if your man turned to you and said, you know what, I've been doing 80-20 all this time, but now I want to do 50-50, then what would happen?
I would want us to have a conversation and review what there must be something that has happened. No, because for something like that, yeah, it's not even a funny thing. Like, I
It
think
is
something
funny.
must have happened. No, because something must have happened. It's very contextual. Something must have happened.
Maybe he just realized that, raw, like, I make this piece, you make this piece, let's go 50-50. Why? Then
I
what would
don't.
happen?
It's not about what would happen. Me and him would have a conversation about it, and to be honest, sort it out and find a resolution. Because it's not like, oh yeah, now I'm gonna leave because you said
Why do you need
50-50.
to, why do you need to, no, but this, I'm trying to
It's
understand
the
your
same way. It's the
psychology.
same. It's the same way. It's the same way. If I said, if it's same way, if I'm dating a man and we consistently having sex, and then I say, well, I don't want to have sex anymore, he'd want to have a conversation about it. He's not just gonna go up and leave. So in the same way,
Yeah,
I'd like to have a
but
conversation about it.
essentially, when you have intercourse, that's 50-50 though. So that's not a good
Would you say
example.
so? Would you say so?
Well, it's two of you engaging in intercourse, so it is 50-50. What are you talking about?
I
What are you talking about?
I feel like men
It don't
benefit
matter how
more
you
from
feel,
sex
to
than
be
women.
fair, but go on.
No, but no, it does. It does, because you can't discriminate. You can't say that my opinion is not important. Now, I'm talking from a woman's perspective. I feel like sex is more beneficial to men than it is to women. Facts.
It's more beneficial.
Yeah, to men than it is for women. Yeah. If you go on, like, you actually search loads of things, yeah, online, I think so. I'm not saying that's the case all the time. I'm not saying that's the case all the time. I'm not saying that women don't enjoy it and women don't engage in it. I'm not saying that. I'm definitely not saying that. But I feel like things that I've also seen on socials online, like, there's some women who feel like, men enjoy it more than women.
No, but I'm talking about your opinion though. Because you're saying
But
it's
I
more
don't want to express
beneficial.
my.
So
I don't
what?
want to express my
Okay. Let me
opinion
ask
on
you
it.
this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If your guy said to you, "I don't want to do it no more," but we're still together, but I don't want to do it no more, then you'd be all right with that because it's more beneficial for him, innit?
I would be okay with that, actually.
Really?
I'd be okay. Like, it depends. Like, it depends. It depends on. It depends. Like, genuinely.
I could
Obviously,
tell
I don't
you
want to talk
now.
about
Let me
this too
say
much.
this. I could tell you now. My girl would not be happy with that.
No, should I tell you why? Because
My
this is what I'm
girl
trying to
wouldn't
say.
be
The way
happy
that,
with that. So I don't know
should I tell you
what kind
why?
of
I'm not
dynamics
saying
you
no,
got
because
going on.
but this is. Should I tell you what it is? Me and you are operating from a different standpoint. The way that I've like digested your question, it's like, say for example, like, I grew up with very religious Christian views, yeah. So, like, say for
So did I.
example, yeah, okay, cool. But so this is what I'm talking about from my perspective. If, like, say for example, I'm talking about me and my partner. We're trying to get ourselves more religiously aligned. And he's saying, you know what, right now I want to stop this in order to, do you get what I'm trying to say? Why would I be angry about that? That's the
Bro,
perspective.
but
Perspective. That's
but
what
you're not doing
you
that
can.
now, though, are you?
What do you mean I'm not? But it's not about. I'm not gonna comment on what I'm doing or what I'm doing now. I've given you perspective. Like, we can't. I'm not. The way you think sometimes. Look. it's perspective. I think the way that you think about things is a little bit obtuse. That this is the fact. She like what? Like
No, I
what I'm
just
trying to
do
say
it.
is
Nah, I just deal
perspective.
with.
It's
I don't really deal with
perspective.
feelings. I don't really like talking about
See,
feelings
that's
because
the
do you
problem.
know?
But that's
No,
the
but the
but that's the
reason why.
problem.
Listen. The reason why I don't talk about feelings is because they can change like the wind blows. It just depends how
Yeah,
you
but it's
feel at the
also a part
moment.
of the
You
human
can feel one.
experience. You're trying
Listen,
to
you can feel one thing now and feel something else 5 minutes later. It's not. It's not a reliable thing. But what you can rely on is fact. You can rely that
how is
that
that
is
the
the
fact?
truth.
How is that the fact? How is again?
No,
This is
I'm
what I'm trying to
saying in
say. When
general.
it's
I'm saying in general, my mindset, the way I
okay,
think. I'm saying I'm. It's more logical. It's more reliable to deal with facts than how you feel, because how you feel can change at the drop of a hat. It's not. It's not a
okay.
permanent thing.
Do do you feel like yeah? Because
Do you feel
I don't want.
like?
I don't want. No, okay, cool. No, because the way to be honest, the fact that even you fact the whole idea of feelings is like absurd to you. It's kind of like
I never said it's absurd. I understand
yeah, but
people have feelings.
but you just said you think from a very logical and to be honest, the way that it's being presented is very robotic way of thinking. You want to focus on the
No,
facts. You're
it's not.
hyperfixating on the
So if I
facts.
say to you,
So the way that
if I ask you what
hold
color
on, hold
is
on.
grass,
Let me
no. If I ask you what color is grass and you tell me the grass is green, is that being robotic or is just being real?
no, it is being real.
Exactly.
But when we're
So why
talking,
can't I
but when
do
we're
that?
talking about, but when we're
I'm just
talking
being
about
real.
dating and relationships, when we're talking about dating and relationships, nothing is factual. Nothing is factual. There's some people like that's like dating is a gamble. People can be of the same religion, their relationship doesn't work out. People can be different faiths and their relationship works. People can have like this one. That dating is a gamble, so you can't just say we have to talk about the feelings. So the question that I have for you is: do you
Mm.
feel like you're kind of I'm not gonna say okay, however you decide to take this, you take this in it, but I'm not trying to say it
Now
obtusely.
say what you
Do
want.
you
Yeah.
think do you feel like your fixation on the logics has impacted your mating capacity
Yeah,
and
it's made me
ability
not.
to
It's made me
maybe
not stick with the wrong person for very long, or it's made
and
me
why do you
realize.
say
It's
that?
made me realize things that I was looking for that were not good for me.
In what sense?
Like, for instance, you can feel like you're attracted to somebody or you can feel like you want somebody in your life. But really and truly, when you look at
Okay.
it logically, they're terrible for your life.
Okay, give me an example. What makes a woman terrible for your life?
Like, for instance, if you're highly sexually attracted to a woman, yeah, you want to
Mhm.
have her around, you want to keep her around, blah blah blah. Yeah, a
Okay.
lot of times guys will fall into that trap of keeping a woman around for way too long or getting in relationships with women just because they're attracted to them, just because they feel like, oh, this woman is great. But really and truly, when you look at it logically, this woman is untrustworthy. This woman, she'll probably sleep with your best friend. This woman is gonna leave you without no notice. Like, bruh, like, or she might be just a leech. She might not really care about you in tough times. She's not gonna be there, bro. Like, so logically, you
So
should maybe
so
get yourself out of that situation. But a lot of times, if you're highly controlled by how you feel, you're gonna probably stick around longer than you should. And I think a lot of times that's what happens to women. I think that happens to you lot bare times. Like,
it does happen
you
to a
feel
lot of
like you
women.
like a guy, but logically the guy's terrible for you.
I think you're making a very valid point, and I don't disagree with you whatsoever, to be honest. However, I feel like in a way you've kind of exposed yourself that maybe you aren't completely just like logical. You are feelings because you've basically expressed in the past that there's been times where you've realized that you did things initially based on your feelings. And now, upon reflection, that's where the logic has come in. Am I right or
Okay.
wrong?
Okay.
Yeah. Don't
That's not
say okay like
exposure.
that.
That's not exposing anything. That's just saying it how it is. Like, what have I learned and why do I think the way I think now? Because you asked me why do
Yeah,
I
but I
think the
feel
way
like
I
the way
think
that
now,
you're
and I told you why.
Yeah, but I'm asking the way you think because I feel like the way that you expressed yourself initially was very like, I'm just thinking about the logic. I'm just thinking about the logic. I'm not thinking about the feelings. But I'm like, you're human. You are also experiencing the
All
feelings.
right,
You
let
are,
me make
you
it
are.
clear. Let me make it clear.
Okay, go
Obviously,
on. You make it clear then.
we're all human beings. Human beings have feelings
Yeah.
and emotions, right? Absolutely.
Hmm.
That is a part of life. You cannot get away from that. It don't matter how, oh, I'm logical, I'm just logical all the time. It don't work like that. You're a human being, yeah? You're not a robot. Yes, I get that. But at the same time, most decisions you make in life, we're not just talking about a relationship now, in life, need to be based in logic. Most. Now you can think about your emotions and how you feel, but if if fact if fact is not at the front of your mind, you're gonna make some catastrophic decisions, bro. That's gonna change your life. Like
So I have a kind of follow-up question.
how you, for instance, you may not feel like going to work, but you still go because the fact is you need money, bruv.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. I think
So that don't
obviously
make
the
you
way
a
that you
robot. It just makes you intelligent enough to know that, okay, forget how I feel. I have to do this because that's what makes sense.
Yeah, I never said that you have to put the feelings at the forefront. I'm a very logical person, and I hope that you've probably gathered that from the conversations that we've been having. I'm
Yeah,
very logical.
somewhat.
No, not somewhat, very much so. Don't get cheeky. But the question that I was gonna ask you, yeah. So do you feel like at this stage in your life you are more logical than you're a lot more logical? Do you feel like you're a lot more logical than emotional? And how does that impact your view of dating and relationships?
Absolutely more logical because I've matured and I'm like I don't have a like adolescent mind. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
when you're
okay,
younger,
that's fine. So how does that thinking impact your dating life now? Or if you're even dating?
well, the things I would tolerate and the things I wouldn't tolerate. Like for instance,
Okay, but in
I
terms of
gave you
like
the
your view
example.
of long-term relationships, how do you view does that make you want to be in a long-term relationship? Does it put you
Yeah,
off
with the
long-term
right
relationships?
person, that
Okay, with
is
the right
obvious.
person. Okay, cool.
Yeah, like it's quite simple. Like because
It's not
you
quite
go
simple
through
because
life and go on.
some people might have had certain experiences and they feel like, well, the logic is I can't be asked with most women and their dating standards because it's unrealistic. So I'm put off dating right now. I don't even think I want a long-term partner.
Mm,
For some people have experiences with like close family and children.
mm.
And then they're like, you know what, I'm put off from having kids to be honest, because it seems like a liability. So I'm just trying to understand on what spectrum are you? Like, is that something that you still want to engage in? Is intimacy the long term goal for you?
Is
Is what I'm trying to understand.
intimacy the long term goal? I think the long term
Yeah,
goal,
like having
the
a
long
long
term
t- is being in a is being okay. Let me make it more specific. Is being married a long term goal for you?
yeah, I would want a family, a proper family, like functional, completely functional, like absolutely, like. But it has to be with the
Okay,
right person. You can't just do it just because.
okay. So
And a
what
lot
does
of
the right
people do
person look
stuff
like?
just because, and then they end up with egg on their face and upset and miserable. And now they hate their life, and that's one thing I know that I'm
How
not
old are
gonna
you
do.
now?
Classified,
How old are you now? Okay, so is it like 20s or 30s?
yeah,
30s. Okay, cool. In your 30s, are you finding it harder to date?
no,
And why do you think that?
because I'm a good-looking fella.
Is that it?
I ask the women. I don't know why.
So you think you're not finding it hard. So you're not finding it
I'm
hard
not.
to
It's
date,
not.
but
I
you're
don't.
finding it
Yeah, it's not. It's
you're
just.
not
I'm
finding it
not.
hard to date, but you're finding it hard to find the right person.
No, I got someone.
Okay, cool. And that's something that's working for you as well.
Yeah, that's why I'm in it.
Okay, good. No, because no, no, I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying, okay, cool. Because again, I'm just trying to understand the parameters of where you're coming from. Because as I mentioned before, some people might be pushed to certain extremes. You mentioned that some people are part
Yeah,
of
but this is
have
what I'm
been a
saying.
part of.
Just because you think logically and you live in the real world and you don't
Yeah,
allow yourself to be possessed by feelings doesn't mean that, oh, that means
I'm
I'm
saying that
gonna
you need to
live
be
by
possessed by.
myself and be a hermit in a cave. That doesn't mean that, bruv. It just means you make sound choices and sound decisions. Like now you can feel some type of way and you can let that maybe, I don't know, be a push. But
Okay, so going back to what we said,
yeah.
do you think a man, so now based on the conversation that we had, do you feel like, again, go back to the actual conversation, which was like, you know, a man's requirements from a woman in a relationship, and you're saying that now you feel like you're in a position where you can make more sound decisions.
Mm.
At your age, do you feel like it is a sound decision to be with a woman who doesn't have much going for herself?
Does she have a job?
I've left the question open for you to.
Yeah, but that's a
very.
very ambiguous thing to say. Like, not
But I
have
said
much
something
going for herself. Because someone could be in a dead end job that they still got a consistent regular
She has
income,
something going for herself,
but they don't really have nothing going for themselves though. Because when people say have something going for themselves, that would allude to somebody who's highly ambitious, or they're already in their desired career and they're doing big things, like, or they're on the verge of doing big things. Like, most people are average in this world. Most people make average income, average salary, average lifestyle. Would you say the average person has something going for them, or would you just say that they're average?
I think that's an interesting question, but is it? Don't get read. It's an interesting question, but I think what's average to me and what's average to you is very different.
No, like, I said the average in the no. The average in the UK, the average person makes the average money. It's not about what you perceive or what I perceive.
No, in fact, why are you asking me a question? Answer my question. You answer my question. My question was, if at your age, where you have now, so you're now saying that you feel like you are in a better position to make logical decisions about the type of person that you want to entertain, have in your life, and potentially have as your partner. Yeah. Do they have to have something going for themselves? Is that something that's important to you? How important is that to you?
If they make average money, they're calm.
Okay.
So they don't need to be doing nothing special.
So why do they need to make average money?
Flipping home. Okay, let's put it like this. I wouldn't date a homeless woman, bruv.
Okay.
Like, I don't think most guys that with any sense would go and date a homeless woman. But even some guy, actually, that might depend on the woman, though. She might be a great woman, bruv. And she might be good looking. She's just homeless.
I feel like now you're being absurd, because it ain't no man looking no homeless woman.
Now, I hear that, but what I'm saying...
Yeah, you're I'm not frozen. You're frozen. But we can still hear you, though.
Still hear me?
Because I'm in here by myself. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Sabotage, man. Sabotage.
Yeah.
You still hear me?
Yeah, can you hear
You make the quality go down in the video. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm back. We'll continue the conversation.
Oh, wait, so are you sending me a link?
Yeah.
Is it literally this? Oh, it's Kristen Chantal _ you can find me on TikTok, Instagram.
Gosh, just quickly. Appreciate you. I'm not the market for it. We got to